How we doing? It's Mailman Nick. Follow me on Instagram at Nick Venti. If you enjoy this content, please give me a thumbs up. Don't treat me like a 204B over here. And obviously, these are my own thoughts and opinions. I'm not speaking on behalf of the Postal Service. So, I had a little bit of time here. I'm still enjoying my vacation. It's really nice to just be able to, not have the stress of going into work and, getting my stuff done and having fun. That's why I work so hard. I tell you guys, I work this hard because I starved once and I'll never starve again. If I want to go out to eat, I'm not stressed about money. If I want to go out somewhere, I don't have to stress about money. I work so hard for a reason, and it's very nice to have the whole week off. But I wanted to make a video about my mindset going into my new route. So as you guys know, I've been on City 18 on a hold down, which is not my route. The carrier's still out with an injury. I've been on City 18 for over a year now. Before that, I was on City 31. Before that, 17. I was lucky enough to just bid on really bad routes because nobody wanted to bid on them. Like 17, the carrier was she would never come to work. So that route was always open. So they threw me on there. And then 31, the carrier was out for a long time with an injury, so I was able to get that route. Nobody wanted to touch that route. It was too long. And then City 18, I got lucky, put a hold down on it, and she ended up being out longer than expected. So it's been over a year on City 18. And now I would be starting it this Saturday, but since I'm on vacation, I'll be starting my new route on Monday. So City 4 is one of the worst routes in the office, but the one positive is the volume, the mail volume and the package volume are very doable. But the relays are very hard because they're very hard to break up and things like that. My mindset going into this route is basically I've only carried the full thing like once or twice, at least twice in my 3 years. I've carried the whole thing. I've carried 2 hour pieces, an hour and a half piece, half of it. Like I've carried like bits and pieces of it, so I don't know the case that well. If I'm loading up then that's the one thing too about the package volume, which is going to help. When I'm loading my truck, I'm not loading as many packages. I am definitely going to be using the load truck feature at first because obviously there's certain odds and ends addresses that I don't know which relay they belong to because it's only like some part of that street hits one relay, some part hits the other relay. I don't know the route that well yet, so I'm definitely going to use the load truck feature. I'm going to group my packages up. There's the white postal tubs. I'll put them by section. I'm going from one ProMaster from 18 to another ProMaster, City 4, so I'll have a lot of room. And since I'll be out in the hills, they'll probably get my overtime will probably be out in the hills. A lot of people don't like to show up in the hills, so there'll probably be a lot of overtime for me. My floater is injured or something. She's not carrying, so I'm sure on my NS day for City 4, I'll be in doing my route, so that'll be a positive. I know I'll learn this route pretty quick. With the less package volume and mail volume, it makes the route a lot easier. But the main thing is the the relays are super long. They're like 30-40 minutes minimum. Like the first two relays are only like 20 minutes, but then like the relays get super long. Like I'm talking like 35-40 minutes. The houses are very far apart. It's very hard to break it up. It's not like you could do one half of the street and the other. These relays are all wacky, and but I do have some base knowledge of it. I did carry it before, at least once or twice. And I've carried overtime pieces on it, so I'm not completely oblivious to the route. But as far as casing, I don't know the case too well. But luckily, and that's the thing, like if you're within your 60, if you're after your 60 days, if you start and you work 60 days, you could put hold downs on routes, and that's the best thing, being on something. I made a video a while ago, like 2 years ago, like the most important thing is to get a hold down because that'll give you some sort of normalcy, some sort of like rhythm and routine. That'll make it a lot easier because if you're doing something and then management also gives you a piece, like, hey, you got a piece on City 4, 2 hours, you'll be able to, manage your route that and then, take your time to learn your piece. and then that's how you learn your routes in your office. If you have an office with like, something small like 15, 20 routes, you're going to learn that office really quick. Like my office has 43 city routes, 20 rural routes. So I've carried rural routes before, but it took me a lot longer to learn a lot of these routes. There's still some routes that basically all the routes I know the territory. Like I could say, hey, I know that route's west, or oh, that route's north. Like I know the territory, but some routes I just don't know, like the specific streets and stuff like that. But that'll just come with time. Like I'm gonna be here another 29 years or whatever it happens to be. So, but my mindset is just, okay, this is gonna be my new route. I'm gonna learn these names. I'm gonna give myself time because I'm not gonna learn these names overnight. If you're on the route a week, you're not gonna learn. You're not gonna know the names. It's just it'll come. Like what helps me learn the names is like especially if they're like a regular package. They buy packages and stuff. Like I'll be like, okay, this house always gets packages, and they'll help you learn the names. That helps me learn the names the best with the normal package culprits, I guess, and that helps me learn the names more. But I'm just gonna be friendly with everybody, make sure everybody knows I'm the new regular, so they know that they're gonna get their mail consistently on time. I work Monday through Saturday. You will always see me here. I rarely take off, so they're gonna be definitely happy about that because there's certain routes that are like, hey, we always get mail at like 8 o'clock at night or not at all. So they're gonna be thankful that I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna bust my butt, and it's gonna be my route, so I'm gonna treat it as such. But as far as casing, I'm gonna really study that case and make sure that's like I said, the positive is the volume is low. So compared to in-town routes, like in-town routes is a better neighborhood, so they usually get more mail, more runs, all that stuff. In the hills, there's not as many runs. We still get ad papers, we still get political mail, we still get a run here and there, but it's not like in town. It's not like in town. As far as like it's all residential except, so like the first two stops are a rec center and a school. Then you do some relays, then you do a church, a school, and another church drop off, and then you do the rest of the relays. But it's basically all walking and a few drop offs. But it'll take me a minute to learn the route. But it just like I tell you guys, it's not gonna be overnight. It's not gonna be You're not gonna do a route once and then be a master at it. It takes time. The guy, I forgot your name. I should have looked it up, but he asked me if I was going to the union meeting. We're in the same branch together. He trained with P, one of our carriers who is an instructor. He said he was frustrated with himself, and I'm like, bro, give yourself some time to learn the routes. You're not gonna be as good as a veteran overnight. If you're playing like a video game, are you gonna make it to the last level on the first try? No, you're gonna, it just takes time. Just give yourself a little bit of a break, learn, and get better. I'm gonna be on a new route. I might struggle with it. I might be a little bit behind on the route because I don't know all the corners to cut and things like that. I'm not gonna know it like I would if I was on 18. So I'm just gonna give myself some time to learn it. I'm gonna give myself some time to learn the names. I'm gonna give myself some time to learn the case. It's not gonna happen overnight. So yeah, it's kind of my mindset. I'm just gonna take it a day at a time, and thankful I finally have my own route to call my own. I'm thankful that my floater is on light duty or restrictions, so I'm able to. I know they're gonna call me in because they're City 4, like. City 4 is a route where some carriers will be assigned to it, and then they'll just be like, why can't I do that route and go home? They'll just walk out if they're assigned City 4. That's the type of route City 4 is. And, that story is not just a story I made up. That's something that happened before. So that's the type of route City 4 is. Carriers will walk out if they get assigned to it. And one of our new CCAs quit because she kept getting thrown on that route. So that's the type of route is my first route, but at the same time, I'm up for it. Let's get it. People in my office said if there was a carrier in our office to do that route, I'm definitely the carrier to do it. So let's get this money. I know the overtime is going to be there. The weather's super nice today, but I'm sure when I get back from vacation, it's going to be back to cold again. But I'm excited and ready to get this money. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.